this first race, sponsored Group 1 Class 4 and 5, sponsored by QMI, distributed through the Jetcon Corporation, witnessing the action in this event. Also, they are the Class 5 cars sponsored by Petcom through their Pace line of products. So, fine lineup. Again, Peter Bull Thompson is on pole position. Outside of him, Don Heaven. On the second row, Peter Forbes and Spell Senior, Somerville Jr. As the pace car leads the, in fact, not the pace car, they also be having a promotion by Berger through the, they start to wave the flag and they're off. Standing start here at Dover Raceway. Heroes 95 is indeed underway as Douglas Gore in the Motor Sales sponsored Mitsubishi Lancer goes through the Goodyear corner first. Behind him is the Motor Sales sponsored Lancer of David Somerville Sr., the Evolution 3. Then comes behind him Jody Somerville, also in a Mitsubishi Lancer. Then coming up nicely, it's the car of Michael Coswell, the John Crook sponsored or KIG sponsored Subaru Impreza. He's been pressured though by the MyJam sponsored car of Peter Bull Thompson, a Mitsubishi Mirage. Then comes another MyJam sponsored car. It's a Toyota Starlet Turbo driven by Peter Forbes. Behind him is Don Heaven, Big Don, in the Toyota Terreno sponsored by MyJam Motors. Then comes another MyJam Motors sponsored car, number 98. Toyota Levin, driven by Stephen Gunter, and at the back of the pack at this time, cruising, car number 57, driven by Dean Shaw, it seems. All right, Shaw, I'll confirm that, a Toyota Levin. But the race leaders make their way now into the Quaker State Carib Cement corner, and it is still Douglas Gore, the man from Team Obey Racing, who is out front in this race. He's driving a Lancer. In second position, it's David Somerville Sr., while in third, in a Mitsubishi Lancer. Also, we have Jody Somerville in fourth. Coming now to pressure Somerville, Jody Somerville driving after a long break here at Dover Raceway. We have Michael Coswell in the KIG sponsored car, going a bit wide there, losing the tail a bit, but putting himself together, not losing a position in the process. He's in fourth. Behind him, Peter Bull Thompson in the MyJam Mitsubishi Mirage. Then come Peter Forbes, Don Heaven, Stephen Gunter, also the MyJam procession. And at the back of the park, car number 57, being driven by Dean Shaw. It's a Toyota Levin. So Toyotas and Mitsubishi are dominant in this particular race. Mitsubishi 1, 2, 3, and then comes the Subaru, followed by Toyota, Mitsubishi, Toyota, Toyota, and Toyota. Change in the guard here from the days when it used to be Ford, and more Ford. The race leaders, and a battle going on there at the front between the veteran who is in second, David Somerville Sr., who tries to pressure Douglas Gore. He goes wide, trying to force Douglas Gore to defend his line, but Douglas is learning fast at Dover, and he did not fall to that one. So through the RAC agency's S's, up onto the main straightway here at Dover Raceway, the SO Super Oil Straight under the Goodyear Bridge. It's the Motor Sales sponsored cars that are stealing the spotlight. They are way up front in this race. And these are the Class 5 cars which are dominating here at this point. It's Douglas Gore in the Mitsubishi Lancer, sponsored by Motor Sales, a Team Obey racer. Behind him, David Somerville Sr. in a Mitsubishi Lancer, also sponsored by Motor Sales and Service. Then comes Jody Somerville in an Evolution 2 Lancer, while behind him the KIG Subaru Impreza of Michael Coswell. Then the Mitsubishi Mirage, sponsored by MyJam, driven by Peter Bull Thompson, as the cars are jostling for position here, but the real race is on for first and second, and then third, fourth, and fifth, all tight going there. Somerville Senior pressuring Douglas Gore. Does he have what it takes in this race, sponsored by QMI, distributed in Jamaica by Jetcom Corporation, and also Petcom Pace, the sponsor of Class 5, as we move into action here on Heroes 95. So into Quaker State, Carib Cement, another time. We find the race leaders being dug. That looks like, yes, Douglas Gore. Douglas Gore moving away, gaining a bit there, coming out of the RAC agency's S's. And behind him, David Somerville Senior. But there's quite a race on for the third position as Jody Somerville in the Mid-Evolution 2 Mitsubishi Lancer holds that, but he's been hounded by the John Crook sponsored Subaru Impreza, and not too far off is the MyJam sponsored Mitsubishi Mirage of Peter Bull Thompson. Peter Forbes is also there in the MyJam Toyota Starlet. It's Peter Thompson who will be leading his class, while Douglas Gore will be leading Class 5 at this point as they go down through the gears another time, go through the off-cambered right-hand Toyota turn. Douglas Gore continues to lead in Class 5 from Somerville, who tries to take him on the outside, maybe more trying to force Douglas Gore to defend his line and then to capitalize on that. But Douglas Gore knows a little better. Experience has taught him a bit here at Dover, and he's not falling for what is a common mistake by rookies. So it is still Douglas Gore from T-Mobile in the Mitsubishi Lancer, sponsored by Motor Sales and Service. He continues to lead in Class 5 and ahead of their other cars. Behind him, the Motor Sales 777, driven by David Somerville Sr., a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 3, fine specimen of a car. Behind them, Jody Somerville, another of the racing Somerville clan. She has been away for a while, but the guys are having a hard time taking that third position that she seems to be holding for dear life. The race sponsored by QMI and Petcom Pace. So there we go, as Somerville trying to outbreak Douglas Gore, but unable to do so at this point. So fine racing up front as Douglas Gore continues to lead as they make their way now into the carry brake turn, the fast right-hand downhill positive cambered corner, probably the fastest corner, or most certainly the fastest corner on this track. It is still Gore from Montego Bay who leads in the Motor Sales sponsored Lancer. Behind him and hounding him all the time, all the way, as Mikey Coswell going sideways through carry brake, just putting on opposite lock and coming away. Fine experienced driver. He likes to hang it out, and doesn't matter what it is, he will do it. So Coswell continues to run in fourth, and he will have to drive for his life almost if he's going to take that spot away from Jody Somerville. Behind him, Peter Bull Thompson. Then come Peter Forbes, Don Heaven, Stephen Gunter, and Dean Shaw in that respective order. The race leaders going to Quaker State Carb Cement for another time. Down through the gears, Somerville Senior on the outside, Douglas Gore on the inside. Will anything change? I think I've figured out the tactic of Somerville Senior at this point, really trying to pressure Douglas Gore into making a mistake as they come around this time. I think it could be the final lap. Yes, the starter holds out the checkered flag, and whatever is going to happen has to happen now in this last 1.6 miles, 2.56 kilometers of racing here in this, the first event, sponsored by QMI, distributed by Jetcon Corporation, also sponsored Class 5 by Petcom Pace. It is Douglas Gore taking the fast line up against the wall, but cutting it early up close against the curb, and he's holding off Somerville well in his Mitsubishi Lancer sponsored by Motor Sales. Somerville, in the meantime, is just hounding him and waiting for that right moment to strike, or for that moment when Gore makes a mistake. Will he make one? Jody Somerville is in third in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 2. There goes Somerville side by side through Pepsi, but unable to do a thing. In fourth position is the John Crook sponsored car of Michael Coswell, a Subaru Impreza, but he's now been hounded by a hard-braking Peter Bull Thompson driving the MyJam Mitsubishi Mirage. Into Pepsi turn goes the person vying for third position. But the race leaders up front going through the STP chicane, down through the gears as they go now through Quaker State Carib Cement for the last time. Past the Marshall, sweeping through that off-camber downhill left-hand turn. Somerville Senior unable to pull off as he goes through the RAC agency's S's. Will he be able to do it? Will he find the power to accelerate by? They come up now onto the SS Super Oil Straight. It is Douglas Gore in the car number 2, sponsored by Motor Sales and Service. He wins. David Somerville Senior takes second position, while third place in the Evolution 2 Lancer. Jody Somerville coming through the RAC agency's S's at this time to take now up onto the Ether Super Oil Straight in car 77J. Jody Somerville takes the checkered flag. Very good third position. There it comes in fourth position, the John Crook Subaru Impreza of Mikey Coswell. Fifth is the MyJam Mitsubishi Mirage of Peter Bull Thompson, and I think it would mean that Peter Thompson would have been the winner of Class 4, while Douglas Gore is the winner of Class 5. And there goes